I can't forgive my sister for naming her daughter after mine, and I hate that my niece will pay the price. So, this is a rough post. It's about infant loss. With that out of the way, let me dive into the background for this post. In 2009, I got pregnant. It wasn't the first pregnancy I'd had, but it was the first to make it almost to term. At 30 weeks, my daughter passed away. I was heartbroken, and it absolutely gutted me, especially since I never expected to be a mother due to the fact that scar tissue from an ovarian cyst had been so extensive that it rendered one ovary useless. It took a lot of effort to finally get to where I am today, but I still have days that kill me. Mother's Day, her birthday, and Christmas. Well, Christmas is coming up, and I'm feeling emotional this year. A couple of years ago, my sister, who has had no trouble at all having babies, she's had 5, last I knew, returned from overseas. She had left 2 of her children with her in-laws, another 2 with her soon-to-be ex-husband, and announced that she was pregnant again after having met a new boyfriend in Ecuador. I have nothing against this at all, and I couldn't be happier for her. The problem is, I have had virtually no relationship with my sister, and after announcing this pregnancy, she announced that she would be using my dead daughter's name for her little girl, because she really liked it. I've cut contact with her and my parents, because I can't bear to hear them talk about my niece while using my daughter's name. It hurts way too much. I'm a horrible person, I'm pretty sure, because this means that the only niece I have the chance to have a relationship is a person I can't bear being around, because it hurts me so much to hear my daughter's name. I just needed to talk about this somewhere. Please, don't spam a ton of hate comments. I'm already aware of how horrible of a person I am being in regards to this. I wish I could do and be better. Edited to add. So, I really want to thank all of you for your kind words. I've been struggling with an immense amount of guilt over this holiday season. This is really just the tip of the iceberg in regards to my family troubles, but I don't know if I could ever air it all. For a bit of clarity, I'm going to add a few things here. First, I am in therapy, grief and trauma counseling. I suffer from CPTSD, depression, anxiety, and a whole lot of other things. Losing my daughter really broke me, though, especially since I was in an abusive relationship with her father. He only ever physically touched me twice. Most of the abuse was mental and psychological, which are a lot harder to pinpoint. A year after my daughter's death, I gathered the courage to leave and am now remarried. My husband and I have ups and downs, but he is miles better than my ex, especially since a lot of the trauma surrounding my daughter's birth were caused by him. I had to drive myself to the hospital while in labor, and he wasn't there for any of it. He'd also moved me to another state, so I didn't have any of my support system. As for my sister, I suspect she's a narcissist. My mother and stepfather both are. I also think my mother encouraged my sister to use my daughter's name. She has told me multiple times that my daughter wasn't real because she was dead before she came into the world. My sister has also expressed, multiple times, that she wished she was an only child. Now, she's pretty much got that. She's the only child who has contact with my parents. As far as why I couldn't have a relationship with the other little ones, the short answer is that the family my sister left them with have chosen to cut us out completely due to the fact that my sister initiated a messy split from her ex. She was cheating with a guy from Ecuador, and when she left her ex, she left 2 of her kiddos with him. I don't foresee him letting us have contact, especially since he's still overseas. The other 2 are across the country with his folks, and they're rallying around their son. My sister also never wanted contact with me when gone. I tried a few times, but got ignored, and when she finally moved back home, the only time she contacted me was if she needed something. I felt pretty used. All in all, I'm not upset about not having a relationship with my sister or my folks, but I do feel a bit of regret about my niece. It's not her fault. I might try to reach out when she's older, but I don't know. I'm still very hurt and angry about the whole situation. Oh, and I have spoken to my sister about it multiple times. I've expressed how hurt I was that she chose that name. And each time I just got this nonchalant shrug from her, and she'd say, "You don't own the name. If I want to use it for my daughter, I can." She got really nasty about it one time. I tried to bring it up, and snapped, "What are you gonna do about it?" So that was when I chose to go no contact. I haven't seen my sister since before my niece was born. Again, thank you guys. Thank you for validating my feelings. My friends are often doing so, but hearing from people who have no vested interest in my situation rally around me makes me feel so much better. You guys are awesome. From the comments, does your sister have any personality disorders or mental health issues? Because she doesn't seem to feel like normal people do. Shedding her children all over the world while she starts over and has new ones, using the name of your dead child, not considering or acknowledging the negative impact that would have on you, she really sounds off. And it's sad that your parents support that. This will probably be a case of the family you make being superior to the one you were born with. Make friends, help neighbors, volunteer at the local orphanage, youth shelter. If you can't have parents or bio kids, go help some children that were dealt a rough hand by life and need your help. Form connections with people outside your family circle and see how much more supportive and nice they can be. If you're still living close to your family, I'd consider moving, just to start over somewhere completely new, without the baggage of your family weighing you down, and with no danger of running into any of them. I suspect that she has narcissistic personality disorder. My mother does. My sister also has diagnosed ADHD, but in a lot of her actions over the years, she really doesn't demonstrate any empathy. This was the straw that broke the camel's back for me, so to speak, but she's done many awful things over the years. There's a reason that I'm not close with her. She always wanted to be an only child, and after I moved out, she began doing whatever she could to get our brother in trouble, knowing that my stepfather would beat him for it. I don't think she's right in the head at all, and the way she left her babies behind with her ex and his family just blows my mind. Like, it didn't even seem to faze her. Story 2, my wife found out about my year-long affair and, after almost 2 years of pretending to forgive me, she ended our marriage to be with her affair partner. 2 years back, my life took a sharp turn when my wife uncovered a year-long affair I had with a coworker. It all unraveled when my coworker got pregnant and decided to spill the beans. Unfortunately, she later had a miscarriage and left our workplace shortly thereafter. Alone up to it, my wife initially considered it a deal-breaker and moved out to stay with her best friend. She talked about divorce, and I was desperate to salvage our relationship. I pleaded with her not to go through with it, and after 3 long months, she finally relented and moved back in. Those first 3 months were nothing short of a trial, but over the last year and a half, things seemed to be turning around, even though our intimacy had dwindled. Having my best friend back was incredible, and I tried hard to be the best husband I could be. She declined couples counseling, but I believed we were making progress. She worked extra hours to reduce our debts, and our financial situation improved drastically. It almost felt like the dark cloud hanging over us had transformed into an unexpected blessing. My job requires frequent travel, often taking me away for weeks at a time, with only brief returns home. My previous trip home, I found our home emptied of just her very sentimental things, clothes, and hobby items. The letter she left revealed that my wife had been involved in an affair for the past year and had been staying with me merely to sort out our financial affairs before she moved overseas to be with her new fiancé, who was well aware of everything. She called me during a layover and divulged even more painful details. To my disbelief, it turns out her new fiancé had been helping pay off our shared debt, as he was tired of being separated from her, and she wouldn't leave until she had severed her financial ties with me completely. I'm also deeply troubled by the dramatic change in my wife's life plans. She used to be an advocate for a child-free and feminist lifestyle, but now she's making a complete U-turn by moving to her new fiancé's country to embrace a traditional role as a stay-at-home wife and mother while focusing on her creative passions during her downtime. This gives me a sense of confusion and betrayal, as the person I once knew seems to have undergone a radical shift in her beliefs and priorities. She will be able to come and go from his country freely. It's a first-world European country. We've had contact on social media a few times since and she seems happy, but any time I call, he is the one who answers her phone. She left in October. The house is very quiet this Christmas,